So congratulations on making it through to day 4 of your first week, or maybe it's your 3rd or 4th week. By the end of this block, we'll be changing these mobility drills around. So we'll be introducing new movements, slightly more advanced movements, and little tweaks so you can get into better positions and continue to progress as your strength progresses. Now today is your squat and move day. Now much like we did with our deadlift and carry day, some of the mobility drills that we did for our deadlift and carry day transfer nicely across to our squat and move day. However, I'm going to show you some different variations for this particular session, but if there's stuff that you like better from the deadlift and carry session, then feel free to swap these things across. As long as you mobilise in the same areas, you can't go far wrong. Now we've got hip mobility to do, which we're going to use the green power band for. We have got a goblet squat, which you're going to need probably something like a 15 or 20 kilo plate as a counterbalance. And then we're going to move into a bracing technique where we're going to use our plank as an opportunity to fire up the trunk muscles, create good spinal organisation that transfers really nicely into your squat. Once you've done these 3 movements, you then move into your specific squat warm-up and you should find the bar moves like butter. Right, so piece number 1. This is your hip mobilisation drill. Now your deadlift one we did on our backs with the band around the front of the hip. Your squat one we're going to do in a lunge position and we're going to use the band to pull the hip outwards. We're going to distract the hip. So sliding into your green power band, bringing that power band right up into the groin and then turning side onto it, we're then going to drop into our lunge position. Now what we're going to try and do here is replicate the position you need to get into in the bottom of your squat. So once you've got enough band tension, once you feel like there's a lateral distraction, you're pulling the hip out to the side, we're then simply going to mobilise forwards and backwards in that position. Now you're going to spend 30 seconds working on the right side, 30 seconds working on the left side, keeping the rib cage down, keeping the abdominals braced, so essentially trying to replicate good spinal organisation like we're going to need while we're squatting, and then that is piece number 1. Right, so this is your goblet squat. Weight in front to counterbalance the weight of your body, stop you falling backwards. And this is the position where we're going to spend a little bit of time in the bottom, in the hole, just hunting out the corners, hunting out the tight bits, open up the hips and making sure that when you're actually under the bar, you can hit depth effectively. So feet in your normal squat position, weight out in front, and we're going to come down into our goblet squat position. Now here, what I want you to think about doing is trying to move around, hunt out the corners, spend a few seconds in the hole, and then back up again. So back into your goblet squat, hunt out the corners, spend a couple of seconds in this position before you come back into your standing upright position. Now you're going to do 2 sets of 10 reps on that, spending about 5 seconds in the hole in between each repetition. That's piece number 2. So piece number 3, this is all about now activating your trunk muscles. So when you're in your plank position, I want you to try and think about keeping the rib cage down. I also want you to think about making sure that you can squeeze your glutes if the need arose. So it's really important that you're not allowing your pelvis to either tilt anteriorly or tilt posteriorly in this position. If your pelvis tilts anteriorly, which is the most common movement fault you'll find in the squat, it switches off your glutes, and then instead of the glutes helping to absorb and accept some of the load from the squat, it all goes onto your lower back. So into position, you can either do this on your elbows or on your hands. Rib cage down, belly nice and tight, and then make sure, if you needed to, you could squeeze the glutes, as opposed to being like that, which means you can't squeeze your glutes. So slightly upright position, pelvis in neutral, spine in neutral, bracing in that position. So you're going to do 2 rounds of 30 seconds in that position before you then move into your specific squat warm-up.